We're at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center to talk to Ryan Day about a lot of things, but obviously one of the things he was asked today by us at cleveland.com and by many other people was about Quinn Ewers, the top prospect in the 2021 class who entered the transfer portal on Friday. I'm Nathan Baird, Stephen Means, Doug Lesmerises, all from Buckeye Talk. Doug, just your reaction to what Ryan Day had to say, because he's talking a lot today about how there's this tornado out there of a mix of like coaching changes and NIL income and the transfer portal, and there's a lot to navigate and it's really messy. But didn't they know that? Weren't they eyes wide open a little bit on that going in? And didn't he sort of create at least sort of a mini vortex here by the way that he's constructed this quarterback room, which he knew was going to lead to attrition?
So the thing that I thought was the most interesting was that he said he was surprised. So I think someone said, like, were you blindsided? And he didn't say I was blindsided, but I also, I thought he could have said, well, we had some inklings, and then we went out and, you can't say Devin Brown's name, but we went and got Devin Brown, and we're okay because we kind of knew this was coming. And that's not what he said. So I thought that was interesting, and on the great big list of things that you would like to ask Ryan Day today, could you have done anything different or better to keep him here? I would be curious about that discussion. It feels like he would say no, because he said we try to communicate up front and then adjust as things go along. And yes, it is weird and complicated, and I'm not sure that we're going to see an exact situation like Quinn Ewers with the NIL stuff. But I thought the fact that he was surprised mattered, because a lot of times stuff that we think is surprising and that fans think is surprising, it's like, no, they knew what was up. So for him to admit that, I was a little surprised that he said he was surprised.
I don't think, we talked about that, like the varying levels of surprise that we had at the news, and there were rumblings out there. So that may be what Day's alluding to, that, you can't be completely shocked, but maybe it was the timing of it that caught him by surprise. So, no questions today about Jack Miller, who entered the transfer portal a week ago today, because that was very expected. The Quinn Ewers news was a little bit more out of the blue. Stephen, what do you think Ohio State needs to do as far going forward based on what this experience has taught them with Quinn Ewers?
I don't think they have to do anything differently. This was, I kind of believe him when he said he was caught off guard. I think they were caught off guard by the idea that he was coming here in the first place. I think they were caught off guard by the fact that he left when he left and how this all played out. This is such a unique situation that kind of once in a generation, because this NIL stuff is so new and we're still trying to learn, what it means going forward, that they don't have to do anything different. As I said in the pod, as we all said on the pod, they've got a 2020 quarterback in C.J. Stroud. They've got a 2020 quarterback in C.J. Stroud, a 2021 quarterback in Kyle McCord, and a 2022 quarterback in Devin Brown. They're fine now. It's just they had this weird thing going on that nobody could really explain, and it was weird coming in and it's weird going out. So I don't think anything has to change. It's just this little blip on the Ohio State history books is Quinn Ewers was here for 4 months.
I think you're right, Doug. I don't know what exactly they were supposed to have done that was going to avoid this. I said that back when we first heard these.
That's not what I said. I didn't say that what would they. So I want to hear what he thinks. I think they could have done stuff. I don't think they're blameless in this. You get the number one recruit in the country. He's here and he leaves. You're not. It's not just like, oh well, stuff happens. So I think they could have done plenty of things to try to keep him here, or have him never come here to begin with. So I want to hear what he would say. I don't think they are innocent bystanders in this thing. Is it disastrous? No, but I'm sure they could have handled it better.
Yeah, maybe I said it the wrong way, but I think Steven's right that I think that the way this unfolded was not their plan from the beginning. When he reclassified to 2021, that wasn't their plan. So then what do you do once he does that? Now you're kind of stuck, I think, having to bring him in and try to make it work the best you can, and it didn't work out in the long run. So we'll be following the way that this unfolds in the future for the guys that are still on the roster, the guys who are coming in after. As Steven already said, they already have a 2022 commitment that they just picked up last week. That's like the one piece of positive news from the past week, and more coming in 2023 and beyond. So get the text 614-350-3315. That's the first place we come with that sort of recruiting news, recruiting intel, recruiting analysis from Buckeye Talk.